your early impressions of Coach Inge since he's gotten the campus?
Coach Inge is a great dude. He cares about his players on and off the field. He's going to coach you up on the field, but then also love you when you get up in that meeting room. So Coach Inge has been great. He's been great for the squad, and I love him to death.
What do you see from Keenan Pili at this point as he kind of returns from injury, playing his first full year?
Oh yeah, Keenan's a great leader. Mentally, physically, he's where he needs to be. I've taken a lot of tips from him, gotten a lot of nuggets from him, so I'm excited to see how he does this year.
And Arion Carter, what have you seen from him?
AC is my dog. He was my roommate all last year. He's a guy, super fast guy, God-gifted ability, so I'm excited to see what he can do with that.
You have any personal goals you'd like to accomplish this year?
Yeah, I mean, of course, win the national championship, win the SEC championship as a team, and just take it day by day.
Where have you improved the most year one to year two? Did you learn a lot about the playing time you got and kind of where you need to improve going into year two?
I believe I've improved physically and mentally very well, but the big key is the mental aspect. There's a lot of big, fast guys, but they don't play fast. So as a linebacker, you got to be able to diagnose your reads and play freaking full speed every single snap. So I would say mentally.
Tim Banks said you've primarily worked on the interior. How comfortable are you playing outside linebacker as well?
I feel very comfortable at Mike and Will. A lot of our defenses, you got to know what both people are doing. You got to know what all 11 are doing. So I feel very comfortable at Mike and Will, so I'm ready to just go out there and be wherever they need me to be on the field.
Last year you said your confidence is rising every single day. Where is that level of confidence today?
Oh, it's very high. It's continuing to rise. It's the best time of the year for me personally. We get to go in fall camp, and then we got a freaking long season. So the confidence is high, the energy is high, and I can't wait.
How fun was the orange and white game for you then? Obviously getting snaps from all the other different quarterbacks going up against them. Kind of what was that like for you?
Oh, it's great. Anytime I got an opportunity to go play in Neyland and then an opportunity to play against people on our offense, it's a great opportunity, and I can't wait to be back in that stadium. Yep.
What's the biggest jump or change you've seen in Arion from year one to year two?
I'd say mentally, because he came here, he was fast and strong already. I think that's like a lot of our linebackers, but to play in the SEC, you have to be mentally strong and you have to know exactly what you're doing like the back of your hand. So I say mentally he has improved a lot.
Are you guys expecting anything to change with sort of the way the linebackers rotate from Coach BJ to Coach Inge? Is it kind of let you know how they plan to approach that?
We're going to be fresh. It's going to look like, oh man, we got another linebacker out here, but he's 100% full speed. None of us are going to be tired. So we're going to be fresh, and we're going to have playmakers on the field. So.
How do you describe Coach Inge's coaching style?
I'd say he's a very confident man. He takes it slow. He makes sure that we know what we're doing. And his big thing is you can hear it in the meeting room, but you got to apply it to the field. It's really freaking easy to hear it and know it when you're in air conditioning, but when you're out there in the trenches and it's hot, you got to be able to know it just as much as you do in the meeting room. So,
what's Keenan's leadership been like, and how kind of was he still a leader last year?
Yeah, Keenan's been huge for me. Ever since I got here, it was the person I looked up to. He's been doing this for a long time, and I'm going to take every single tidbit I can from him. He's always leading by his actions, doing the right thing. So Keenan's been a great leader, very influential for me.
Kind of been the points of emphasis for you in your development this offseason?
I would say just knowing the defense like the back of my hand and physically be where I need to be to play a 16-game season. So I would just say mentally and physically.
I think you might have touched on it a minute ago too, but Arion, just how have you seen him grow over the course of the offseason?
Yeah, he's been great. I know he had a little injury that took him out a little bit, but he's totally back and healthy, and you can just tell that he's ready to be on the field.
What's y'all's expectation this season? What do you guys think?
Win the SEC championship and win a national championship.
What gives you confidence y'all can do that?
We got the best coaches in the nation, we got the best players in the nation, and we got the best fans in the nation.
Thank you.
Yep.
We heard a lot this spring about Edwin Spillman and early impact he had made. I'm sure he's got a lot to learn, like most young guys. But what did you see from him, and how good do you think he can be?
Yeah, he can be as good as he wants to be. His effort is where it needs to be, and that's really the biggest thing that we're looking for. I mean, I know my first fall camp, it was more of just go give full effort versus like let me not make a mistake. So big props to Edwin. We were just talking about it in the meeting room. His first day was the first day of freaking spring practice. So for him to come out and have a spring like he did, he's going to be a great player.
What did he do so well this spring?
He showed a great effort, and he wasn't hesitant. There's a lot of guys that want to be right, but we're playing football. We're trying to tackle the dude with the ball carrier, so he did that very well.
Here he can hit pretty well too.
Oh, yeah.
Remember any particular big hits he had or anything like that?
Yeah, I remember a couple. He just, on the insert, he goes and fits it and blows it up. Whether he was the spill player or the leverage player, it didn't matter because he hit the dude on the ground. So.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, do you understand the game start, bench, cut? You heard of that game before?
No, sir, I haven't.
So it's kind of like kiss, marry, kill. We got to give you a category. You do your favorite as a start, your second favorite's a bench, and your last favorite's a cut.
Okay.
If you don't mind me, I'm going to do a category of your Tennessee jerseys.
Okay.
So orange and white one you have on right now, the new grays, or the all blacks. Start, bench, cut those, please.
I'll say start, all black, bench, grays, and I love the orange and white, but we'll cut them. I like the
I was
alternatives.
going to say, any reason why? Just do you like
I
those?
still like the orange and white, but I like the alternatives. You know, I put the gray jersey on, the black jersey on. It feels great. So,
Thank you.
yes, sir.
When you guys do wear those, the black ones, the gray ones, does it add some juice? I mean, does it make a difference, you think?
Anytime I put the orange color on and we're in that stadium, I'm going to have some juice. But, you know, you put that black uniform on at night or you put that gray uniform on, you only wear it one time a year. So it's very special when you have that opportunity to wear that jersey. And I take it as a big deal, you know. It's just a jersey color, but there's a lot of tradition with what we have, and I take a lot of pride in that.
Jeremiah, just if you got past this, I'm sorry, but just how much more comfortable are you this compared to this time last year?
A lot more comfortable with it. That's what I was just telling the young guys, like, hey, look, this first fall camp, you might be a little hesitant, but go play full speed. And that's what I was like last fall camp, but I'm a lot more comfortable now, and I'm just ready to go and play full speed within the perimeters of our defense.
How did that process work for you during this? I guess once you actually got some playing time, did that just speed up your development even more once you saw some game film and saw what it was like out there?
It did. I mean, I got here early, so I had spring and fall, and then you have all those reps and all that film to watch. So as you get into the season, things start slowing down a little bit. So I remember things started really slowing down. You know, we go against the freaking fastest offense, so you're out there and their tempo every single play. So that's a little bit harder to learn, but as you go on through the season, things start to slow down and you really have a lot of film to watch, and that's where the understanding comes in.
Which player do you like to watch the most, to learn the most from?
That's a great question. I would say Luke Kuechly, just by the way of how he communicates, and that's the biggest thing for defense. You can watch a linebacker and tell if he's talking almost immediately. So every single play, you need to be communicating to the person to the right and your left, and I took a lot of takeaways from Luke Kuechly for that, and of course a lot of other linebackers. So
Keenan Pili is one of those guys that has to be the communicator. How do you feel he's going to handle that?
Oh, I think he's going to be great with that. He knows the defense like the back of his hand, and Keenan's a great leader, and he's just been waiting to get his opportunity here. So I'm really excited to see how he's going to do.
What kind of resource was he for you last year, Jeremiah? Even though he didn't play, but he was around, and I'm sure with his experience, he was helpful.
100%. He was a huge resource. Whenever I first figured out that he was coming here, the first thing I thought is, wow, I'm gonna get a lot of tidbits and nuggets from him. For a guy older like him, like in all phases of life, he can help you understand like how you can schedule out your day, how you need to be as a man. So Keenan's been huge for me, just as a leader and really letting me see the way to walk. So.
What's it been like with you and Arion pushing each other in competition? You guys came in, you both played as freshmen. What's that relationship like? How much do you guys benefit from that?
Oh, it's been great. He was my roommate here the first year, so we got extremely close. And Arion's one of those guys that matches my work ethic, and I love seeing a guy like that because it makes both of us work even harder. So AC's been great, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do this year.
You face the offense a lot. Dylan Sampson, how slippery is he as a running back?
Oh yeah, he's very slippery, D-Samp. There's no doubt of his ability, but I love being able to just go against somebody like that because there's a lot of fast backs in this league. So just to be able to compete with him every single day has been great.
In what ways did it benefit you as a player growing up as a coach's son? Did it change the way you view the game in any way or instill any habits in you?
Yeah, 100%. I remember watching film when I was like 10 years old with my dad. So it really just let me learn that after a long day of practice, you still got to go home. And whether you felt like you had a good practice, you watch the film, it might not be as good. Say you felt like you had a bad practice, you watch the film, it might be better than you thought it was. So it really ingrained watching film for me and just like not just letting a day pass and either learning about what happened that day. So,
Jeremiah, I know you were here 4 years ago, but the situation on the defensive line, the depth, is a million times different. You feel spoiled sometimes when you
100%.
what you got in front of it?
100%. the D-line's so good. They're big respect to them because they put the hard work in, and they let the gaps be wide so I can just run through and play as fast as I want. So big shout out to the D-line. We're 4 deep in each position there, so I can't wait to see how they're going to do this season. So it's going to be great.
How much weight did you put on?
I've probably put on 20 pounds since I've been here, and I've also lost a lot of fat while doing that. So it's been a progression. I'm sitting about 230, but also at the least amount of fat I've ever had on me. So
How has that helped you?
oh, it's been great. 230 is the playing weight that I want to be at, so I'm just trying to be in the best shape 230 that I can be in, and just learning more about my body, honestly, as well. How to have some prehab and feel better before the workout, and then also post lift, how to have rehab and feel better for the next day. Yep.
Can you kind of feel a little bit? I mean, not that you guys weren't thinking big last year too, but can you feel a little bit of a difference this year, just sort of the build up to the season, that there were some real expectations? Is that kind of palpable in the room, that you guys kind of have hopes of doing something big?
It definitely is. I mean, I feel like even last year we still had big hopes for the season. Now a bunch of the younger guys are getting older, stepping into different positions. So I think that we're all ready, and season time's come. So I don't think it's anything new for us.
How much confidence for the offense and just for the team maybe do you guys get from Nico? Is he one of those guys that kind of does he have kind of just a confidence that rubs off on other people? Or
100%. He shows up and he's the same guy every single day, and he doesn't have to do too much. He just is where he's supposed to be, prepares the way that he needs to be, and then he goes and puts it on the field. So just for him to show up every single day, the same exact way, I think that bleeds through our whole team.
The new EA game. Have you gone through Dynasty mode?
Mm-hmm.
What was your first play that you ran? And then also just what player have you been playing as?
Well, I've been playing as myself mostly. Got to put myself in there. And I would just say, honestly, the road to glory, like you go into the practices and then you can do like 7-on-7 or like 1-on-1 tackling. So like I like to just put myself in there and give D-Samp some hell sometimes. So. Good, how you doing?
Been the key 24/7, doing all right?
Yes, sir, I am.
Where do you feel like you're different going into your sophomore season compared to your freshman year?
I'd say my confidence, my knowledge on the defense, and how I feel about Mike and Will. I feel like they could put me wherever on the field, and I'd feel very comfortable and confident.
What about from a skill set standpoint? Where did you really want to focus and improve this offseason?
Definitely want to just work on my pass rush technique. I think that's the biggest thing. You got to go in there, cause mayhem, and get some sacks. So that's been a big key this off season is my hands and my pass rush.
What's it been like getting Keenan back in? I know he's always been in the room, obviously,
Yeah.
but back out on the field this offseason with him, and kind of what are your expectations for him this year?
My expectations are him to have a great season. I can't wait to see what he can do on the field on Saturdays. It's been a long time for him, and he's a really great dude that works hard, the same person every day. So I can't wait to see what he can accomplish.
What have you seen from Arion coming back from injury and then working back this offseason, and where's he at going into fall camp?
Yeah, AC's hungry. That's all I can say about it. He's ready to get out there and hit somebody. That's all I know.
What stands out to you about this year's defense? Obviously, a lot of talk about depth and whatnot, but what about from an athleticism standpoint, a speed standpoint, compared to last season?
Right, like you said, we have depth everywhere, and like you also said, we have speed everywhere, whether that's our freaking 3-tech or our Mike linebacker. We're going to be flying around, and we got depth everywhere, so we're not going to be tired. We're going to be fresh.
What's it like as a linebacker playing behind that defensive line?
It's the best feeling in the world. You see 3-inch or 3 feet gaps, and I can just take off and run through them. So big shout out to the D-line because they do the hard work, and we're really just cleaning up the play. So,
What do you feel like you've been able to learn most from Keenan Pili?
I'd say there's so much that I've learned from him, whether it's on the football field or off the football field. He teaches you how to take care of your body, the right things to eat, the right film to watch, and then also like outside of football, just like how to take care of people and how to be a good man. So a lot.
How would you describe the work ethic inside the linebacker room?
Big time work ethic. I feel like we're all very similar, and we have a super rare squad. I feel like we are incredibly close in there, and it really does feel like a brotherhood, and it's all guys who want to work for it every day. No one feels entitled to it, so that linebacker squad is very good.
What do you feel like you need to do during this fall camp to put yourself in a position to be successful once the season starts?
Just prepare. That's what I keep telling myself, prepare, whether that's eating the right things, watching the right film, and then also just going through my playbook in the morning. and getting a good night's rest. So.
Where do you see yourself slotting in? Are you more of a inside guy, outside guy, speed? What kind of role do you want to
I'd say definitely an inside guy. I like that leader on the defense, the quarterback of the defense, but wherever they need me to be, I'll be. And I think we got a lot of things rolled up our sleeve, so I'm excited for that.
What makes you want to be that quarterback guy?
That's why I play linebacker. Linebacker is the quarterback of the defense, and that's who drives the bus. That's who grabs the bull by the horns and makes it stop. So that's why I take pride in linebacker and being the quarterback of the defense.
What have you seen from Jalen and Caleb this offseason? A couple more young guys in the same part of their development as you.
Yep, they're hungry too. Caleb and Jalen, they show up every day, do the right thing. They're both football players. You know, Jalen, a big-time football player, likes to go make plays, and Caleb's just a freak athlete. So they can take it as far as they want to take it. So I'm excited to see how they grow.
I guess Jordan and Edwin are the new ones. What stood out about those two guys?
Yeah, you know, Edwin, his first day here was day one of spring practice, and he came and had a really good spring. So number one, that's really hard to do. So huge respect, shout-outs to him. And Jordan, you know, he's just getting here, coming off a little injury. He's just learning the playbook, and we're showing him how it has to be done.
Is there? Go ahead.
Have you had the opportunity to play the college football game?
Yes, I have.
What's your thoughts on that?
Man, it's surreal. I didn't think anything too crazy about it until the first time I freaking downloaded it and looked at it, and then I was like, wow. Definitely an opportunity of a lifetime. You know, as a kid, that's your biggest dream, to be in a football game. So that's a blessing from God, and it's great.
Who's the best on the team at the game?
Nico's pretty good. I'll say Nico. Yeah, Nico's good.
You think being a quarterback, reading defenses helps you in the game?
100%. I was actually thinking about that the other night. Like, you know, Nico's probably just sitting here reading everything.
You gotta throw some shells on there.
Yeah, for real.
Is there anyone really bad at it on the team?
I don't know really bad. I'm not the greatest myself, so I don't really have room to talk. I'm still better than some of the guys, though, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank y'all.